Hi. I woke up this morning thinking, good God, Scientologists don't have a conscience. And I was like, you know, toying with the idea and trying to figure out what's going on there. Obviously, if you don't have a conscience, you can commit all kinds of acts, and Scientologists do, in the name of the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. And of course, the greatest good means helping Scientology at all costs. So they're quite willing to perpetrate terrible, terrible crimes. And they don't have a conscience. Now, if they did have a conscience, that would mean that they were doubting. And if they're doubting, then they're in doubt, which is a lower condition. So that's what's going on there. Now, there's another thing that Hubbard invented called shame, blame, regret, which ties into this as well. Because shame is a normal human emotion that you feel when you've done something bad. Scientologists are told that to feel shame is low on the tone scale. Shame is low on the tone scale, so no Scientologist wants to be low on the tone scale. So they don't allow themselves to feel any shame, which again is a lack of conscience. Blame is what you do when you point the finger at someone else. And again, it's a fairly normal human thing to blame someone. But in Scientology, they've changed blame and replaced it with responsibility. Now, if you've done something and you're responsible for it, you can be blamed for it. It's just playing with words. It's just changing the word blame for responsibility. So responsible sounds better than blame, though. And in Scientology, shame, blame, regret is kind of an insult. It's like a swear word, to real people. Scientologists say they have responsibility, but they actually don't. And they get away with that because of the lack of conscience. I mean, if you ever thought that the trap of Scientology was intricate and insidious, this is why. The other thing, the regret part, regret comes about when you've done something and you wish you hadn't done it. Well, one of the better things that Ron Hubbard said was never regret yesterday, life is in you today and you create your tomorrow. And I like that because it's saying, like, don't dwell on the past, you're in the present, and what you do now is creating your future. Great, let's go for it. The problem is when it's lumped in with shame, blame, and regret, as a sort of like trio of emotion or trio of reactions, then regret becomes again something that you can't feel. So this is why Scientologists don't have a conscience. L. Ron Hubbard, by the clever manipulation of words, has eliminated conscience from the Scientologist by the doubt formula, by saying, well, if you're in doubt, you're in a low condition. And if you're in a low condition, then you're low toned. And if you go below a certain level on the tone scale, you're into the band of shame, blame, and regret. So I hope any Scientologist watching this has a cognition. Bye.